Welcome back. It's an honor and a blast to work with you today. Today we're going to cover great big uppercuts and short inside uppercuts. Let's get right into it. So beginning with a very exciting fighter and a very dominant and aggressive fighter to watch who's just very fun to study. We're going to look at George Foreman right now for big uppercuts.
His hands are so heavy that what becomes a knockout punch doesn't always look like one, and Rodriguez goes down.
But when he does, Foreman sees it, and he goes for the uppercut. And he's down for the first time. 3 knockdown rule.
This is a way of throwing uppercuts. It's very devastating and aggressive and show-stopping and a more high-powered offense. When you look at fighters like Joe Frazier coming up against George Foreman, at that time Joe Frazier was a very dominant heavyweight. He had just really wiped the mat with Muhammad Ali. He was giving the whole heavyweight division tons of trouble. He was an inside fighter and very aggressive. And then it was very shocking for everyone when he fought George Foreman, because the exact opposite happened. George Foreman just really decimated Joe Frazier. These big, giant, hard knockout uppercuts were a big reason for that. Joe Frazier would try to come inside against George Foreman, and then he'd be met with these sledgehammers from the grave, as I would say, drop him down and throw him really big.
But he's up. Frazier was down 3 times. Yes, Gorham is holding him.
Looking at George Foreman, he uses these in every single fight as fighters come to him and try to pressure him and get inside. The second kind of uppercut, we're going to look at another all-time great fighter, an incredible fighter named Roberto Duran.
Yeah, I guess you could call it a circus. And then you watch Roberto, and you know he enjoys being center stage.
Oh, big left hand by Duran.
When you look at Roberto Duran and the way he worked inside and used his uppercut, you can see it's a lot different. They're a lot shorter. It's part of a more concise offense, an approach that shuts an opponent down without necessarily knocking them out. It's something Roberto Duran used sometimes for a longer strategy throughout his fights. They're still very hard punches. They're still very pesky punches to get hit with. They land on painful angles, and they make it really hard for you to keep your rhythm and keep your offense going on the inside. But you can see that Roberto Duran isn't loading these quite like George Foreman is. They're a little bit shorter. They kind of fire off of his shoulders. And by doing this, Duran also remains a lot more protected on the inside. So it's a fun difference to see between Foreman and Duran and the way each of them are using their uppercuts in these fights. Number 1. The big uppercuts. Throwing these big uppercuts, I want you to remember a couple of things. I want you to keep tucking your stomach, your chin down, and the hand that's not punching, I want you to keep it very tight. As you throw this big uppercut, which is simply bend your knees and drop your hand down pretty low, kind of down here by your knee, and use your legs and your full body to bring this uppercut up. As you throw this, we're not going to allow ourselves to get tall or let our offhand drop, because we never want to be open and exposed. We always want to be protected while we execute our offense. So throwing this big right uppercut, chin down, tucking the stomach, offhand up, bend your knees, drop this hand down nice and low, and really get the full strength of your body, your legs, your core, everything. Put everything you can in this uppercut as you raise it up. Bend the knees, bring it up. The left uppercut, same thing. Chin down, tuck, offhand up, and we're going to drop this down nice and low, all the way down here by our knee, and we're going to use the full strength of our body to bring this punch up. You'll notice that this punch is very vertical. It's not coming around like this. It's not coming across like this. Maybe that's okay to do, but this uppercut lands right here, right on their jaw, right on the chin, like so. And you can alternate these and throw them in succession. Make sure you rock this offhand up. The hand that's not punching comes right back into your guard. Now, the short uppercuts. These are going to be a little bit different. These are the short, inside, giving nothing away, punishing your opponent, making it hard for them to do anything against you type of uppercuts. And the way you throw these, you want to sort of load your weight onto one leg, drop it down not very far, about 6 inches or so, and kind of use your shoulder and your arm to pop this blow up. Then you can come onto your other leg and do the same thing with your other hand. And this way, you incorporate a little bit of head movement into your uppercuts. You rock from shoulder to shoulder, which is good to give you more opportunities to land your punches from different angles, and it's a defensive tactic to keep you from getting hit. So anyways, offhand up, once again, chin down, tuck your stomach. Don't load these down very much, maybe only 6 or 8 inches. And then use your shoulder and your arm to just give them a little pop. And if you're throwing short uppercuts and big uppercuts, you're really going to make it difficult on your opponents. So today we covered the great big uppercuts in the style of George Foreman and short inside uppercuts in the style of Roberto Duran. You're going to have a lot of fun using these in your workout, and click the Legacy Boxing timer so you can have your rounds timed while you watch action from the club. See you next time at Legacy Boxing Training Online.